Guys, wonderful. So as we come through to the final stretch now, we've got our last guest before I'm going to go through on an action plan on how to really take some of this content out. A little gift I want to share with you, and also to chat to you around some CPD points, which is a great opportunity for you guys as well. I'll share that with you after our next guest, which is another man in the moment. I was actually out with him this morning at 5:15. For those who know Coogee Beach, south of Coogee, there's a little set of stairs. Now, a little bit of history. I've share a personal story with you, and I remember this, and it was with Dave, and my history was that I actually owned a couple of fitness centers back in the day, and we had some great success in that time. And I remember one of them is a couple of our clients wanted to run a City to Surf, which is in Sydney. You go from the city, you run to Bondi to 14K. And Dave said to me, actually, he was training at the gym. He goes, "Come on, Shorty, you're like, let's train up for it." I said, "Dude," I said, "look at me. I'm stocky. I used to play footy. I've got flat feet. I've got bad knees. Please, like, my hips are like good birthing hips, but not very good running hips." And sure enough, we started to train, and we did the city surfing. And, you know, like what you heard, Dave loves the setting a goal. And he goes, "There's a little thing called a half marathon." Half marathon? What's a half marathon? He goes, "It's a 21K run." I said, "Why would you want to run 21Ks? Sure enough, we trained up for it, and we did a half marathon. You know what that led to? Yep. So he goes, "There's another little event called a marathon." I said, "Well, what's a marathon?" He goes, "It's a 42K run." I said, why would you just drive and 42Ks? Like seriously, who would run 42Ks? Sure enough, set a goal, trained up for it. We did our first marathon together. And like growing up, I was a swimmer, right? I was very competitive in the pool, surfing and water polo and so forth. He goes, "Shorty," he goes, you can sort of run. I mean, you've got a bit of a Cliffy Young shuffle. And I know that you can swim. You're a good swimmer, but can you ride a bike? Can you ride a bike? I said, "Well, I can give it a crack." Well, that led to our what's called. He goes, "Well," I said, "Why?" He said, "There's a little event up in Port Macquarie called a half Ironman." I said, "Well, what's a half Ironman?" And he goes, "Well, it's a 21K run, which I know you can do. It's a 1.8 kilometer swim and 90K bike ride." I said, "Like all in one day?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "All in one day." Sure enough, set the goal, trained up, did a couple of half Ironman together. And he goes, "Guess what?" I said, please, no more. And he goes, "There's a little thing called an Ironman." I said, "Well, what? Tell me. He goes, "There's a 3.8 kilometer swim, 180K bike ride, and a 42K run." I said, "Yeah, and?" He goes, "Come on, let's do it together." And he goes, "Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's train up." And sure enough, we did our first Ironman together. And I sort of got a little bit of a bug from that and doing those crazy ultra endurance events. And that led me to then thinking, okay, what else is out there? That led me to do my first, what's called an ultra marathon. Now, an ultra marathon is anything over 50Ks, but this event in the Blue Mountains about 6-7 years ago was 100 kilometers through the Blue Mountains. And one would ask, and if you checked out in my socials, I'm gearing up to something in a minute. I did it and I completed it, and it took me 23 hours to run 100 kilometers through the night, head jump on, out in the freezing cold, minus degrees. Yes, and when you talk about looking at yourself and you talk about the inner voice and you're talking about facing your demons, there was a lot of demons out that night. Anyway, that sort of got me going. It's like, what else is there in Australia? And then I found it. It was called the Big Red Run. And I mean, has anyone heard of the Big Red Bash? The Big Red Rash is a great music concert out in the Simpson Desert. Well, this is called the Big Red Run, and this is out in the Simpson Desert. This was a 250 kilometer run over 6 days through the Simpson Desert. Why would you want to run 250 Ks through the Simpson Desert? Check out some of my social. I did a little video around it just the other day. But the journey, and this is where starting from a 14K run and to then achieving a 250K run over 6 days, the biggest lesson was the power of the environment. Coming back and actually training up for that race and surrounding myself with like-minded people was absolutely profound. the conversation was, oh, this is normal. Like, I've just come back from my third 250K run. I've done the 500 across the Alps. I'm just going, oh my gosh, like, are these people all as nutty as I am? But what I soon realized was that this became the norm. This became the language, just became, this is what it is. And so I realized that after completing the race, few toenails short of coming and realizing that this is such a powerful story and a powerful lesson of surrounding yourself with the right type of people. You know, I think to myself, if this was so powerful of training up for a 250K, because when I came back and, you know, some of you guys here today go, why the hell would you do that? But sometimes it can be out of one's paradigm. Well, I could talk to someone around a 14K run. It's like, yeah, cool. That was like, get it. 5K. Yeah, got it. But 250, it starts to shift someone's paradigm. Now, imagine taking that into all aspects of your life. Imagine hanging around people who have financial success, relationship success, health success, and surrounding yourself with those types of people that actually push you further and to be better, to do more, be more, have more in your life on a holistic viewpoint, not just in one or two areas. And so the question I ask you is, who are you hanging around in those different areas? Are they driving you? Are they pushing you forward, or are they actually pulling you back? And this is a great time, perfect time now to do that self-assessment as they did, you know, back in 2009, and looking at where those areas are at right now for you. And that segues into our next guest, which is Daniel Cachia, Associate Director from PPD Real Estate here in Sydney. And the reason why I share that story was, and I'm going to blow I'm going to blow some smoke, because Dan loves his running, right? He loves his running, got into running, and he said, Shorty, he goes, you know, like, there's a little event coming up in New Zealand in the end of the year, 60Ks, blah, blah, 60Ks, so forth and so forth. Anyway, long story short, about 6 weeks ago, he said, I've got an opportunity to buy a ticket for 100K UTA, which is in October this year. Should I do it? I said, why are you asking me? Hell yeah, get amongst it. And so this has led to him now shifting his own paradigm, shifting where does he need to be? Who does he need to be? How does he run his business with his amazing assistant, Siobhan, amazing wife, Jules, daughter, Millsy, looking at the holistic viewpoint, and how does he navigate through it whilst training up for this event? And that's where it led us to this morning, hitting those bloody stairs at 5:15 this morning. Daniel Cachia, PPD Real Estate. Welcome, mate. So good to have you here, and thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me, guys. That is a bit of smoke blowing. Thanks for that, mate. No expectations. I certainly got a long way to go to hit the 100, let alone 250Ks, but I'm coming for you.
I love it. I love it. Mate, just so everyone has a bit of context, share with us that journey of how you got into real estate and like your journey within real estate and where you are right now.
Mate, this is my 20th year in the real estate industry. It's 2 decades. It's gone really, really quick. I was a rugby league player growing up, and had aspirations to be playing for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And I was about 18 years old or 17, just out of school, up in Nambucca Heads, away with a family, a friend's family at the time. And I was on the phone to my mum, and she said, why don't you give real estate a go? Like, you can talk, you don't shut up. You're pretty persuasive when you want to be. And so I did, and I haven't looked back 20 years later, and here I am.
Love it. Fantastic. So you've been obviously with PPD for a while. And what did you notice? Like, let's fast forward to now. What did you notice? How was the temperature of the market before COVID hit? How would you find your colleagues? How was the market, and how was your business? What did you notice before COVID hit?
We've got about 30 agents in here. We've got 58 staff and 30 agents, and every single one of us, from the partners to directors to the associates, were on trajectory to have the best year ever. It was stronger than it was. It was showing signs to be stronger than it was at the peak in 2017. So everyone was on the grind. They were on the phones. I had one open for inspection in January, and I had 90 groups of buyers walk through in a 30-minute block. 90. And most groups have 2 people in them. So that's a lot of people to walk through one open for inspection. Needless to say, that property sold in 7 days.
Wow.
So the temperature was hot.
Wow. And then, so obviously then restrictions hit, everything's just whoop, shut down. What did you notice, like on a market perspective, and what did you notice with colleagues outside of the office? What happened there?
I felt like everyone, it was really intense. Everyone sort of just went in a state of paralysis, basically, and just didn't quite know what to do in terms of what are the next steps, how do we combat this? We can't do open for inspection, so God, we're going to have to do private appointments. And private appointments are probably the best way to learn about your buyer, learn where they've come from, where they're at. Are they ready to pull the trigger today or tomorrow? Are they wasting time? Like, there's time wasters in the market everywhere. So one of the perfect examples is a property that I sold at 189 Darley Road, Randwick, right in the middle of COVID. I put it on the market on a Thursday. I had done about 30 private appointments at that property in a 7-day period. Ended up selling it for 3.125, 125 above what the vendors were hoping for. But I was able to get down and dirty with the buyers and just learn who they are, what they want, is it the right property, and the amount of properties I had sold because I got to know who those buyers were. I literally made myself a pool of buyers on the side within a market, and I just weaved it into all the other properties I had available. So it's an awesome market. A lot of people went into a state of paralysis and just didn't know what to do with themselves.
That's a huge strategy just right there. Like that whole private appointment with the buyers to really understand them, right? Understand their needs, their wants, their frustrations, their fears, what their journey is. It's huge. How did you navigate your own mindset over the last 10 weeks? What worked, and I guess what didn't work for you?
It was huge conversations with, you mentioned Siobhan, my PA, she's amazing, and my wife, Jules. We put rules in place where we weren't going to talk about COVID every 2 seconds. It was on the tip of everybody's tongues. It was hard not to get caught up in it, but we decided, let's stay focused, have one conversation around it each day so we know what is happening, so we can converse with buyers and combat objections. My wife's business actually went from hero to zero overnight, being a makeup artist. So she didn't want to hear about it. So we let that go. We didn't have any conversations at home, and we just stayed in our own lane. We literally ran our own race. We were front and center every day. We did the basics. You know, we met every morning, major meeting on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, check-in meetings at 3 p.m. and just made sure that we were on track to continue to do our work and also close the deals that we had going.
Love it. And so what else did you feel that you did differently over the last 10 weeks than most other agents out there that also allowed you to have some great success?
I think tuning out of the media, that was a massive one. So we had the mindset, got exercised. That was absolutely paramount to keep your head absolutely straight. Going to bed early and making sure you got the rest, because doing the private appointments is labor intensive. You're sometimes going to the same property 10 times in one day in that short period of time. It's exhausting, let alone you're not doing the other work that you need to do in the back end to make it all happen. And also just really communicating again and talking to my team, utilising James. Like, I think James and I, our conversations went from once daily to 2-3 times daily, just to keep a straight head.
What kept you on? I mean, yeah, you had some, some good conversations, you had your exercise, but what kept you focused and what kept you on track?
Knowing that I actually had a goal in place. Once I started to, my target for the year, as I go back to being on trajectory to have the best year ever, we were well and truly on target. And when COVID hit, you were thinking, gosh, now I'm not even going to hit my goals. And to be completely honest, I had a shit year last year compared to other years, and I was going to make this year mine. So I had a moment there where I was thinking, I'm not going to hit my target, got really disappointed, and then just snapped out of it. I started to do deals within COVID, which gave me the confidence to actually stay on the phones, talk positively, to stay engaged and not just work from home and watch Netflix all day, which a lot of other people are doing. But I did the basics, and that kept me focused all the way through.
And if you look back over this last time, the last 8 to 10 weeks, Is there anything that you may have done differently for yourself and also for the business?
I honestly don't think so. I think we navigated our way through really well. So end of June, and we're not far off our half yearly target, believe it or not, where a lot of people are still watching Netflix and trying to chase listings. The pipeline's full. Our clients are happy. We've got runs on the boards, and we're doing open for inspections on a regular basis, and our minds are right. That's the biggest thing, is the mind.
Love it, love it, love it. The mind. What has been your biggest lesson through this pandemic, both for the business and for you personally?
Communication. Just if it wasn't already a big thing, or the top of your list is having those conversations, it's just really reinforced how strong it is and how powerful it is to be on the same page, not only with your team, but your home life as well as your work life, and also having the tough conversations with your clients, and also getting real with yourself, James, with your wife or your partners, and also your PAs and your team. So yeah, I wouldn't do anything else apart from the communication was absolute key, and setting ground rules from the start and respecting those ground rules. So keeping me in line, keeping your colleague in line, and working away.
Love it. And if you got any questions, guys, just throw them into the chat, and so Dan can answer them for you. What's coming up for you for the rest of the year? What does that look like? And how we had an interesting conversation the other day, right? How have you planned out the remainder of the year based on what's coming up for you for this year?
So both Siobhan and I actually just said earlier this morning when we got in, how awesome was that strategy meeting that we had with yourself yesterday. And that hour and a half, however long it was, just to plan the next 6 months has put everything into perspective. So we've got about 5 properties on the market at the moment, which once we chip those over, we'll hit our half yearly target. And that's my goal. That's my micro goal for the month. And then we've got another, I think we've got about 4 or 5 lined up ready for July, and the pipeline is still healthy. So just get that pipeline full, keep talking to the vendors and having the strategy meetings. That's how the end of the year is looking. Just finish it off as we started.
Love it. And so where can the crew here today find out a little bit more, track your journey, or even ask a couple of questions? Where can you send them?
Guys, call anytime, 0419 472 029. Happy to have a conversation, a coffee, whenever you want. If you've got a question or an idea you want to bounce off, please, happy to give my time wherever I can.